I'm Samantha Asumadu. I'm the founder of Media Diversified, which is a platform where we sort of cultivate and try and promote and give space to black and minority ethnic writers in the UK and elsewhere. We have writers in America, in Uganda, Kenya, Pakistan, all over the place. And our editors, we have an editor in Australia, one in Sweden, one in India, and the rest are in the UK. Yeah.
So fairly big organisation then.
Kind of. I mean, generally they're all volunteers. There's maybe, I guess, altogether about 8 of us, but it's so small, but punching above our weight.
Do you want to tell us a bit about what the reality of the situation is now and how you're going to fix that?
In the UK, 93% of journalists are white. Most of those are also middle class. Quite a few of those people are privately educated. Now that doesn't reflect the reality of the population of the UK. And when you look at the fact that in London, where the percentage of working age black and minority ethnic people, Asians, etc., is 28.8%, and the working population of those of people in the media of those ethnic backgrounds is about less than 8%. So what we look at is equity. It's not even about diversity. It's just media reflects society. Society reflects the media. So if you don't have equity, if you don't have those people's voices in the civic discourse, in politics, on the TV, behind the words, on the radio, then there's a problem, because for one thing, having that equity promotes a cohesive or more cohesive society. And when you get things like institutional bias, which you find very often in lots of different areas, the police especially, politics, media, then it's more likely people will act and resist that kind of bias if it's representative, if there is equity, if there's people to shout their own corner.
What are the practical solutions then?
Yeah. So we last year fundraised, we did a Kickstarter to build an experts directory. Now the experts directory is it's something that it's a subscription-based platform where media outlets, broadcasters, radio, papers can subscribe to find experts. And when I say experts, I mean across the board. So it's not just about journalists. It's in there we've got gynecologists, barristers, a terrorism expert. Lots of different areas. Anyway, anything that is part of society, they're there, and they're experts in their field. We haven't just opened it up and said, well, they're all experts in their fields. Most of them, the vast majority, have media experience as well, because at the moment, we can't afford to train them. Eventually, we hope we will. So they've had experience, whether online or whatever, in some way. It doesn't have to be they don't have had to have been on Newsnight once before we take them. We just see potential and confidence to speak with expertise on their profession. And that expertise is about, when you call whatever breaking news story, you get your various experts called upon. And so often there's this landscape of sort of stale, male, pale experts across the board. Whatever the topic is, there they are. And so we're not providing an alternative. We are saying, these experts, you should, when you're looking for whatever expert on whatever topic, you should be building this into your system. So you're looking at that list maybe, but you look at this at the same time. You're not just looking for a black or Asian person to talk about this topic or this racism issue or whatever. We want, equity across the board. And so, something that happened, one broadcast, one of the broadcasters that found out when we were fundraising got in contact and said, oh yeah, looks really interesting. We want to get BME people on non-BME topics like politics and health and what? I mean, they were making an effort at least, they got in contact with us, and I'm very willing to work with them, but it did show something very sort of pernicious within the media, that they think that these topics aren't of concern to us. We've got doctors in the database, in the Media Diversified directory. We've got nurses, we've got mental health professionals, and especially in London, if the 40% of ethnic minorities, we say ethnic minorities, but it's a global majority, if they just got up and left the city, it would grind to a halt. So, it should be reflected in the media we see, because media is so powerful.
So tell me, what sort of uptake have you got on this? On the directory?
It doesn't actually launch until next week. Excellent. So we've had it, it's been beta tested for the last couple of months by Sky News. BBC Women's Hour have had a look at it, BBC Newsnight and BBC Africa and a few others. That's a lot of BBC, but but at the same time, we sort of started before we'd even completed the directory. The BBC Two got in contact with us and said they are starting a new show, sort of daily politics show with interviews, etc., and they want to get a cross-section of experts. Can we help? And so we put a call out and over the last couple of months, and got some experts, and they, so we're providing, we're filming the pilots in next month and sending 60 experts to go and sort of basically interview for the jobs to be experts there.
Excellent. I think that's a really good one, Nick. I look forward to seeing that one. We've got a general election coming up, 10 weeks away or something daft like that now. What sort of things should people be wary of in the run up to the election?
Well, one thing the media should be looking at least the actual industry, is not having panels of all white people, especially when your offices are in central London. And there's one paper that announced their political panel of 8 experts. Every single person was white. It's a London paper. And the whole thing is, the media do have a lot of power, however so do we. How we critically engage and how we consume media is very important. I don't think the onus should be on just us to do that. I prefer every child to be reading from when they're, both fiction and non-fiction from when they're as young, from when they can open their eyes. And that would be good, because then you teach yourself critical skills. And I'd like to see our school curriculums have more critical thinking and encourage critical thinking, which I don't think they do, especially under Gove's "we don't want to educate working class or black and Asian people," So sorry, Michael Gove from the Conservative Party. He's now no longer the education minister. Sigh of relief. So we can consume media in a way that is beneficial to us and the people around us. Critically engage with it. Don't take everything as read. Look where you're reading, who you're reading. I mean, you have to do a little bit of research, but there's always Google. So I think the responsibility lies on both the media and us to how we approach this political season coming up. I mean, my our platform, MediaDiversified.org, are starting a political series on this, I believe, the 3rd week of March. We have got in contact with black and BME sort of representatives, either councillors or whatever, from each party, Tories, Labour, UKIP and others, Green Party, and asked them to answer some essential questions, each of them answering the same question. And we've got various articles coming up. So, I mean, it's not like we are saying this is all you should read. We're just saying, read this along with everything else you are, or else you're not getting a full picture. I mean, one of the questions we've asked of an activist group is, what is the one thing that could be done once this election's won, and etc., what policy could come in that would be really crucial and essential to black and Asian people?
You getting responses to that?
Oh no, the article will be written and it will be published in March. But yeah, so just read independent media.